Welcome to another episode of Husbands Watching Housewives. I'm Scott.
And I'm Jeff.
And we just watched an episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Yes.
Yes. And so thank you for finding us. If you just are joining us for the first time, we appreciate it. We are, as the name implies, two husbands, each other's husbands, and we watch Housewives.
Yes, that's accurate.
Yeah. It's mainly his fault. I didn't watch Housewives. He did, but now it's been years. I can't think of a world where I didn't watch Housewives.
It's been years.
It's interesting.
It's 2019, yeah.
Yeah, it has been. Only 2019?
We moved in together. No, we moved in. That's when you
before
first...
that, you had me watching reunions and stuff.
Like one reunion, but like I think you really seriously got into it because, you know...
I was trapped with it.
Yes. And the home.
It's so funny. A lot of our friends who hear that we have a podcast, they're like, oh, well, I don't watch Housewives. Do I need to know? And it's like, well, you know, it helps. But we have friends who say they just listen to our podcast just to hear us be goofy jerks.
They have no idea what we're talking about.
So, and that's, you know, kind of the thing is that, you know, we aren't recapping the show because we assume you watched the same thing that we did. We just kind of go through what our thoughts were on the episode and sometimes how all the ladies made us feel, if they did at all.
Yeah.
And that's what we do here. So thanks for joining us. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, especially if they watch Housewives.
Yes.
So, but back to Atlanta.
Yeah. No, I know you didn't love the episode.
No,
but I thought it was pretty good. There are parts of it I thought were, you know, interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I could, like in all Housewives, like going away, they do the packing scene, like getting ready to leave and all that stuff. And then there was that mixed with Drew's trip to court.
It's the announcing of the trip. It's the like, what am I going to bring? Let me bring my full glam squad like I'm Erica Jane circa 2018.
Yeah.
2018? Yeah, that works. It's just too much.
Yeah.
Kelly. I don't need to bring a full-grown man on a girl's trip with me just to shove my boobies in a corset. Well, I certainly don't because I don't have those problems. But I just thought that was a bit...
You don't own any corsets?
No.
I mean, to my knowledge. I see your closet, and I've never seen them in there, so... I don't think there's anything wrong with her bringing, you know, the glam. It's her first, you know, Housewives trip. She wants to look good.
Yeah, I don't know. Just to go and sit in a very... hot restaurant from what it seemed.
Yeah,
they're all just like fanning themselves. I'm like, is there no AC in Nashville? I don't know. But anyways,
so at the beginning, they kind of, it was Drew and Angela over at Angela's house,
right?
And then it was all the other ladies having fun.
But then Brit buying a car.
Oh, yeah.
Brit and her this is. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say it. Brit and her sad sack husband. He is just so looks so miserable. Like he's more miserable than who was it on Potomac what's her name's boyfriend who didn't want to be on the show, Kiana's boyfriend.
Oh yeah. Great.
The man does not want to be on the show. He's like, put your leg down, get out of the car. I'm not buying you this car. We're just doing a scene here as a favor for my friend Dwight.
I felt bad. I felt bad for him because he even was roped into the so what did she say about you? Kind of do the talk.
Let me be your talk to. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Can we move on now? Get out of there.
We go home. It's hot.
Yeah.
And we're not buying this car.
Yeah. A $453,000 Ferrari. No one's buying that.
To go where?
Right. And you know, the worst thing is, you're right. She's not even buying a car because they didn't even show what car she bought. This was just clearly my friend owns a car dealership.
Exactly.
I feel used. I feel cheap now.
It's very late.
Easily manipulated. But yeah, the party over, whose house were they at?
Kelly's. I love that Porsha's like, what did you do to this dog? Yeah. And then we got the full story about Cha-Cha being canceled.
Canceled? Kelly might be canceled for what she's done to Cha-Cha, but
being kidnapped and then almost sold on Craigslist, and then thank God he was returned, and so now it's we got to dye him so he I didn't see the logic, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it works.
Well, I guess it's so that if someone was trying to kidnap him again and try to sell him, they'd be like, wait, no, that's Kelly's dog, unless they shaved him,
right? Or they dye all dogs pink before they sell them on Craigslist. It surprised me that they took this long to talk about how the dyes are cruelty free and they're not like cruel to animals with it. Because like,
I'm sure people said something.
I've been saying it. Like I showed a picture of that dog to my boss at lunch the other day. Just yeah, someone at the brewery we were at came in with like a French poodle, but it had like just the kind of the cuffs dyed pink, and he was like, who would do that to their dog? I'm like, oh, here, hold my beer, and I handed him my phone, and he's like, oh God, who would do that to their dog? So.
Anyway, Kelly.
Yeah.
Would.
So I'm glad that they brought that up, and I'm sure no one would do anything to their dog if it was harmful to them. So I never truly thought that would be the case, but it's good to have it cleared up. And I like the little shade the producer was giving too. It's like, you say that as you're wearing your fur,
right? She's like, that's why they're shitting her from like shoulders up.
Yeah.
So we didn't see this full fur happening.
Yeah. And there was time enough to for Kelly to take her daughter parallel parking.
Right.
Yeah. That was a little sneak peek there. And really,
with backup cams these days, it must be easier for kids doing that test to like parallel park. Yeah.
Well, you still got to know when to turn the wheel.
Oh, totally. It's not like it's going to do it for you.
Yeah.
Isn't there like a car that will?
There are
for you?
Yes, there are. But I don't think you can use that during your driving test.
No.
Probably considered cheating.
No, they're like, get out of this car, get into this old beat up Cadillac.
So
not Cadillac, Oldsmobile, Pontiac, whatever.
Let's go Buick. What do you say?
Sure. How did Drew and Angela get so close so quickly?
They're both Chicago. That's okay. Angela's like, oh, she's my Chicago person. Like we're both from Chicago.
When we go to Chicago, will we see Drew?
Maybe we'll. we will. Who knows? Even Porsha was saying that's some balls on her to like invite Drew to her.
I was saying it was shades of Whitney inviting MGK.
Yeah, to Palm Springs.
Yes.
Yeah. Very much so. I do think it's a bunch of BS when one of the main castmates. Like, it'd be one thing if Drew was just a friend of,
right,
and she didn't get an invite, but she's a main castmate. She should be invited.
She's no Alexis Bellino.
And that's why, yeah, exactly. That's why the whole thing that, like, I think when Angela was kind of saying, like, hey, can I invite Drew? Like, that sort of thing. That's why Porsha wouldn't say no, because she really probably can't say no.
She can't say that you're not invited. She just can't tell her about it. But it's going to get back to her, and she's going to be like, where are we shooting this week?
Yeah, exactly.
Where's everybody?
So I do like that Angela was looking out for, her friend, I guess, and, that's what she wants. But it is, I think so being so new to the group and then doing that, inviting her takes a lot, especially for Drew to not show up the first night. That was so
BS. If I was Angela, I'd be like, I didn't even have to say anything.
Right.
But I did, thinking you were going to come as part of this story. And now you're not showing up because you're at Dennis's hookah bar.
Yeah.
By the way, who has a hookah bar in 2025?
Apparently Dennis does.
Go sit down somewhere, Dennis.
So
lame. I was going to say...
My friend Sarah always liked going to hookah lounges and stuff. I never went with her, but she had a hookah at our house.
Back in the day, that's not current. I don't think it's like it's...
I don't know. Some people find it... relaxing. I don't know why, but I don't like smoking things. So that was my main thing. But, people like it.
It just seems so outdated, like something you would see on Housewives and 2008.
Yeah, everyone knows it's sound baths now. I mean, you've seen on Housewives.
Let's get some healing.
Yes.
Well, and the other Angela thing was Brit saying that that's as bold, saying that Charles had a baby on her.
Oh, yeah,
girl. No, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh, I see where these couches are going. I see what's happening.
You gotta do some rearranging?
Yeah, these two are not gonna be next to each other. Do some rearranging. Why would you even throw that out there? The streets are saying, or the rumors out there.
So irritating.
I love it. She's the rumor didn't just fall out of the sky. Yeah, that's usually how rumors happen. They fall out of the sky because it's not true.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna I'm not heavily defending Charles Oakley, but it just seems so dumb to be like, I'm mad at her. You know what I heard? Her man had a baby on her.
Yeah, that is a little bit much.
Boom. I did that. Like, Brit is really becoming my least favorite housewife on the show.
Yeah, between her whole thing with buying the car and then just
and
kind of
her voice.
Yeah, her voice. And then even still, like, being pissy with Drew for defending Kenya. Like, or not even I mean, she was defending Kenya, but...
Kenya's her friend.
Yeah.
She just met you.
And also, Kenya wasn't there to defend herself, so it's like she was trying to stick up for her. And, you know, also because had Kenya returned to the show this season and Drew hadn't done that, I'm sure Drew would have been in trouble with Kenya.
Right, because Kenya really supported Drew last season.
Yeah.
So I think she like had to really throw down. But I did appreciate Drew saying like, "Did you sell it?" Like,
that was...
So what? The cat?
Yeah.
Like...
That was unexpected, but at least she got right down to it. Like, so let's talk about these things. Like, you know, it was basically like explain, you know, not like, please explain to me, but like, no, I'd genuinely like to know, like, where did all this come from?
I saw the poster boards, and I think I recognized that penis.
That was irritating because that was very clearly Drew being caught on not, but just being shady.
Yes,
and
messy.
And messy, and like, oh, did you say, you know? And it's like, well, why would you say that then? And she's like, well, you know, I try to be funny, and like emphasis on try to be funny.
I mean, like, sometimes she is funny, sometimes it's lame. So that didn't quite work.
But she looked good. That was
That was a great wig. I wonder if it was go naked.
I feel like Porsha should be like, you can't wear my wigs.
Yeah, I revoke your privileges. Take that wig off your head. No, she basically said to Brit, were you a sex worker? Oh, you did cam? How long did you do cam
Were you
for?
a porn star?
Were you a porn star? Yeah. Like, she just went down just read it down.
I wonder if Kenya was like, oh, when you have lunch with her, you ask her these things.
Right. She was like, Like, hold on, I got a little sweaty.
Yeah. So while we're on the Drew subject, the courthouse and everything, I know that they can't.
It's not funny, but like, I don't know. It was just kind of ridiculous, the whole thing.
It was like it. I know. Again, this is how little I actually care about what's going on, and it's like, and I think it's how little production cares. There's like, well, we got to put something in because this is like happening to her, and like it's been her main storyline for the last 3 years is like her and Ralph, you know, separating. So we need to follow this through to some sort of logical conclusion. But you know, and as she meets with her lawyer, he meets with his lawyer, and then like these are the top 3 things, and then none of it happens, and it pisses Drew off, and it's like, yeah, it sucks, but at the same time, like, I don't know. His lawyer seemed to be saying that like everything that her lawyer put forth as a motion was just like baseless. She
was saying it's a money grab, and I don't think that's all. I think there's more to it. I didn't understand like why he was so set on like unsealing the record so like everything is out there, because it seemed like more detrimental to him than to her.
I do wonder if that's going to come back as another, like that's going to make itself more of a storyline at the end of the season. I kind of want to go Google and see what's in there.
Yeah, now that it's unsealed.
But my thing is, remember how he was kind of suggesting that she had an affair with a woman?
Totally forgot about that again. Right? So you just brought it up right now.
I think that's what's in there, and that's why she doesn't want it open. And, you know, he probably had way more affairs and probably did like way shadier stuff, but I think he just wants it to be on the record, or, you know, available to the public, that she dated a woman.
The basketball player.
Yeah. And so it's like, okay, you know, and it gets dirty and everything, but that was I don't know. I thought it was bold of her to also roll down the window and like yell at him across the parking lot.
And with a hard R.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, like, I would just kept driving.
Yeah.
You know, like, don't make him. It's easy for him to make himself the villain. You don't need to, like, you know,
help him. Yeah, you need to help him out. Yeah. So then I think at that point, after it was on to the next thing, and them all going to Memphis,
Nashville,
Tennessee, whichever.
Child, we're gonna lose the Tennessee viewers.
No, so and you don't spend a whole lot of time on TikTok, but there, you know, oftentimes there's these stupid, like clearly all AI videos would like give statistics about certain areas, like the safest cities in California, top 10, and it's always so dumb. There's one about Memphis, and it was like this city like has the largest increase in crime, and it's clearly someone just put in like these just blanket crime statistics and like took them out of context. But this video totally was generated as being like 300 people get murdered here a day, and you're like,
in Memphis?
Yeah, Memphis does, but also that there's a difference though. I think, and I didn't look into this, West Memphis, Arkansas is on the west side of the Mississippi there, and then Memphis, Tennessee is right on the other side. West Memphis has a lot of crime,
right?
But Memphis doesn't. But either way, Nashville is what we're talking about. And I've spent more time in Memphis than I have in Nashville.
Never been either. I've never been to Tennessee, period.
But Nashville is nice, but I was there looking at movie theaters, so I really wasn't, doing the whole party time.
Where is Dollywood?
Dollywood, I think that's south of Nashville. So like we flew into Nashville, then we ended up driving through the Smokies to Dollywood, and then down into North Carolina, I think, or Kentucky.
Yeah, because I saw these gay dads I follow went on spring break with their kid to Dollywood, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
That feels safe.
Because we were looking at movie theaters. I never went into Dollywood, but I have a picture of me standing in front of the sign back when polo shirts, were kind of popped collar again.
You're popping your collar.
Yeah, not in that photo, but I looked really good. Yeah. I like that shirt. I like that photo. I would go to Dollywood. I think our friend Ben and Brian and Cade, they went.
Oh, right.
They had a good time. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not trying to say. Yeah, sorry, I shouldn't say it's safe. That's bad to say. I just, well, I'm not going to elaborate on that, but I'm sure it's quite safe.
First off, it's Dolly Parton's park, so I mean, she's a big supporter of the LGBTQ community.
Right.
So I'm sure that, like, if you were to go there and get like hate crimed, you'd be like, well, you're in the wrong place. This is Dolly Parton's park.
You're in the wrong park.
Yeah. I think though that there could be concerns though, like once you're around the area outside the park, maybe there's some people, but I don't know. I think anyone who's going to a Dollywood Park would be okay with that.
Oh, yeah.
I hear you.
No, look really, look cute, and they're having fun with their sons. So, yeah, for them. Yeah.
So anyway, Nashville.
Oh yeah, sorry, Nashville. Sorry, before we get off of it, or go back to the show. Where is Graceland?
Graceland's in Memphis.
See, I would love to go to Graceland.
I hear it's no good, and it's really expensive. Like,
I don't know. Just like, I think maybe because I read Lisa Marie Presley's memoir recently, I'm like, I kind of just want to see like what it's all about.
We drove past it and saw the gates and everything, and that was about it. Because even at the time in 2003, it was something like $75 to get in and go look around, and I think now it's like $120 just to go.
Oh gosh!
And it literally is. They say in many ways just like a very normal looking house from the 70s. Like you don't even get to go to like the private parts of the house. You see like the kitchen and like the living room, and that's really about it. Maybe a recording studio that's like frozen in time. But
I'll research that. I'm just very curious.
Yeah.
I used to be like big into Elvis when I was a kid. Anyways, I digress.
You certainly do. What do we feel about Porsha inviting everyone and their mother to her party? Like, I'm glad to see Lauren's there and Manetta, but I didn't need the other two friends. Like, I'm also glad that they're not staying in the same house. Like, I was confused at first.
Yeah.
Like, were they going to be on the plane with her? Are they going to be in the Sprinter too? Or are they going to be like vying for friend time?
Oh, it was so funny because like she's like, all my friends flew out to see me and not stay in the same house as us because that's the production house.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It's just too many girls, and we already have a bunch of new girls. It reminded me of, I think maybe it was Marlo's first season where they were like a bunch of randos, and I was like,
her first season as a full
it's full-time housewife, and I was like, I don't need, this is too much new,
right? So
I didn't know, like that one at the table, that Provy girl was speaking up. I'm like, Provy, someone will tell you later, okay?
Yeah.
She's like, what's happening? I'm like, shh, no, later, Provy. I don't want to see these girls. I want to see like the drama between like the six main and Cynthia. Am I doing that math right?
Yeah, I think so. Yes.
Yes.
7 plus Cynthia.
Yeah. So I just didn't need to see them, but yeah.
I think the house they're staying at is beautiful.
So nice.
It's so nice. It doesn't look all that much nicer than one of their houses back in Atlanta.
Sure.
It just happens to be in Nashville.
Right.
But I thought it was nice, the tour that they were on, and I don't think that like any of the bedrooms, even the one with all the beds in it, was all that bad.
No, that was actually kind of cute.
It was.
I mean, it was a very standard Airbnb situation.
Yeah, exactly. That barbecue spread, though, was really good.
It was really good.
Chef, whatever his name was, Chef...
Something.
Chev? Anyway.
Eagle was the bartender.
Yes. With horrible tattoos, it looked like. But, you know.
It happens.
The chef, though, that barbecue spread looked good because, like, it kind of looked like it was charcuterie, like, on steroids because it was just, like, all literally beefed up. You know, you're like, yeah, and it was making me hungry.
I love it. Like,
especially because we had broccoli soup tonight. We made our own broccoli.
It was tasty.
No, it was good, but it was not barbecue. Let me tell you.
I could use some cornbread.
Yeah, it would be good.
It would have been nice. Yeah, I love that it was like, you know, I want to eat all this food, but let's go look at rooms first, said Cynthia.
Yeah. Well, Cynthia wanted to make sure she didn't sleep in a closet or something.
It's like, I know I'm a friend of, but like, I don't want to be in the basement.
Well, luckily they got Drew in that little bunk bed for when
I gave her 2 beds.
I thought for sure, though, it would have been like, well, the fact that Drew gets her own room, even if it is like the kids' room, like that means it was planned for. She should have stuck her in Angela's bed and been like, "You want to bring her?
Right.
She can sleep in your bed."
You know who would love those bunk beds? What's her name from Potomac? Stacey.
Oh, yeah, Stacey.
Like, oh my God, I've never had bunk beds.
So good. Yeah, she liked that one room.
She really did.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted there to be room drama. It's been a little while since we've had room drama, but it's fine, I guess. I can live without it.
Oh, yeah, it seemed like totally fine rooms.
Yeah, and Shamia was humping her bed. Oh, good.
Ain't nobody.
Oh, then they go out and they ride the bull.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shamia was like the best.
Yeah, and she put on a, coochie cover. Make sure no one could see her riding the bull.
Not a coochie cover.
That's what it was. She like put a little towel there.
Man, this is Cowboy coochie.
Could be. But have you never ridden a bull?
No, God, why would I do that?
I've done it like maybe 4 times. One time at a work event. Like I was at a conference in Austin and they had a bull on there. And really the thing, core strength is key, which I have none anymore.
Same.
But they have that rope that you hold on to. You're supposed to wrap it around your hand and really hold on to that. And that does help you hold on if you have like arm strength. So I could see that's, help
because you have
keep
to
balance.
use 2 arms or 2 hands.
I think you can. I mean, I did because
the whole thing is like supposed to be like 1 arm up.
Oh, yeah. That's true. Did you watch 8 Seconds, that movie?
Of Luke Perry?
Yeah.
I didn't, no.
That's surprising.
Oh. I mean, no.
It's not surprising.
I am a huge, it's my favorite show, 90210.
Right.
But I didn't watch all of their side projects. Mm-hmm. So I watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He was in that. But no, I didn't watch 8 Seconds.
And okay.
I'm familiar exactly what it is, but I never watched it.
Right.
Did you?
No, I never did. No, maybe we should watch that sometime.
It was available somewhere.
I'm sure it's available somewhere. It has to be. More than 8 seconds of it, though. So, sorry.
All right, I'm gonna go now.
All right, see you later. I'm gonna see.
Until next time.
Yeah, no, not yet. What else? So Angela just starts getting into it with Porsha at dinner. Is really all that happened next.
I mean, Porsha, I think she was she's really trying to try me here.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna give her that reaction. And I'm going to keep it moving.
Yeah, and I think, I don't know. Again, it doesn't, I think that Porsha knew Drew was going to show up anyway, and I think she's just like, whatever, I'm going to be fine with it and do my best.
Whose trip was it on Salt Lake?
It was Meredith's trip to Palm Springs.
That was her trip?
Yeah, that was Meredith's.
That was her trip going to...
the Trixie Motel.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and that's...
I thought that was Whitney's for some reason.
No, it was Meredith, and that's why Angie wasn't invited. And so that's where the you came from.
I just can't see Meredith doing a Trixie thing when Trixie was friends with Whitney, but whatever.
Well, I think Whitney ended up being better friends with Trixie, or it was
Meredith was like, I have a gay son,
or it was Whitney's to begin with, and they just called it hers so that she could uninvite Angie and make drama. So, yeah.
True. But similar thing, except that like Porsha was like, whatever. And like she did get like snippy at dinner. But for the most part, she's like, whatever, Angela, this is dumb. Whereas Meredith like lost her shit.
Yeah.
And like rolled around in it. And you can, yeah.
Yeah. Everyone was getting a little, they were feeling the tension at dinner with Angela kind of getting into it.
Because those girls were like her hype, or were like Portia's like hype women.
Yeah. But even Shamia was just like, maybe another time for this. Even Cynthia was like, like,
yeah,
I don't want to get Porsha in a bad mood. Let's just have a fun time and enjoy ourselves. It'll be good.
Last time Porsha was in a bad mood, I had to kick her in the coochie.
Who did that?
Cynthia on the boat, season 8.
Oh, I don't.
It was the Kim Field season.
Oh, I
like, got into it on the boat and they were fighting, and Cynthia was like kind of like reclined on a chaise, and like Porsha like was over her, and like literally Cynthia was like bam and kicked her in the crotch. And this is when Carlos King was producer, and he had to hold Porsha back.
Oh God,
it was really bad.
Oh no. Interesting. I'd like to watch that clip.
It's on Peacock.
I'm sure I'll find it. I mean, good show. We're getting set up for next week. That'll be good. Looks like next week is fun.
Well, the ending with like the fellatio. They were saying that like Drew gave Dennis.
Oh yeah, that was funny. I liked Porsha being like, basically saying that's his thing. Dennis's thing is
keep his head count down.
Yeah. His
body count.
Keeping his body count balanced. I like that. I that's also the good information you have being someone's ex. Be like, no, that's what he's more into. It's like, he may not be screwing around in this way or that way, but you might have very well gotten a BJ from her. So.
That's going to come out, I think, next week. And I think that's what Drew was like, I believe I'm not going to stand here. And yeah.
I'm just disappointed, from what I can tell anyway, that Bolo does not make an appearance next week. Like, you'd think of all things that Porsha would like to do is maybe have Bolo make another appearance.
Candy's like, if I'm not on the show, Bolo can't be on the show.
Oh, that whole Detective Kenya, that was an irritating.
So bad. That COVID season was so bad.
So bad. But yeah, also from the looks of it, like whatever, strippers or, entertainment they have next week just looks really, really plain.
It looks kind of like Chippendales.
Yeah, like boring, like not in a good way.
Like unseasoned chicken.
Very much so. Very much so.
Like Janet from the Valley.
White and annoying?
Yes.
Yeah. So again, I
it was good. I liked it.
I want something to happen. I think that's what this whole pretending to be cool with Drew and Porsha. I want them to actually, I want something to boil over. Like, I want there to be a reaction. I want there to be like, look, here's where we're at. This has got to be different. This is what we got to work on.
Why do you hate me? Like, why do you think,
Yeah. And then, again, for someone to take accountability, for Porsha to be like, yeah, I am being a shady bitch to you. I am being messy because I don't like what you're doing. And then for Drew to say the same thing back and be like, yeah, I am using your ex to do,
I thought for sure someone was going to tell Porsha about that whole, like, my song is going to pay for PJ's college comment.
Maybe they're waiting for Drew to get there before that happens. Because they did recap that, too.
I know. That's what I thought, like, Shamia or whoever was with her would say that.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe next week it'll.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. So, all right. We've gone over everyone, right?
I think so.
So, Brit is your favorite, you were saying, right? We're going to remember that for next week.
Oh, my God. Brit and Mike are like the best couple ever. They're the new Kyle and Mauricio.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, and we'll talk more about this next time.
Until next time.